Hi everyone, it's AngelBlade13. Welcome back to my Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix walkthrough. In the last episode, we finally went through the Cavern of Remembrance, and we found the Garden of Assemblage where we can do some really cool super boss fights. In today's episode, we're going to be focusing on item synthesis. Down in the synthesis notes section, we're going to see three particular things we need to do. Collect every type of materials, complete the collection list, and synthesize each particular item that's available. So I'm stopping by one of the Moogles. You can do this at any Moogle location. And then we go into the synthesis menu, hand over all our stuff, and we're getting a couple different rewards. I guess it's been a while since I've been here. Anyway, here we see a list of all the material that I've brought to the Moogle throughout this entire playthrough. Her version, when we defeat enemies, there's a chance that they'll drop certain materials. And we can use those materials to make different items. So, a lot of this is going to be a bit luck dependent. Sometimes you'll get all these on your first try with a particular enemy. Sometimes you have to go through like hundreds of them before they finally drop something. But here we can see here's a particular item, a mithril shard. It's going to show the materials that I need to make one. A stock is going to show the amount that I currently have brought to the Moogle that I can use. And then basically we can just scroll through. These are a bunch of the things that we have available that we can attempt to synthesize. And, you know, just select it. If you have enough of the needed material, then you can make that item. So now that I've made that item, it shows up in the creations menu. Then if we look in the recipes menu, these are mostly the items we've been collecting through treasure chests. So hopefully if you've been following along with this walkthrough, then you have all these. Because we've gotten every treasure chest that we've had access to so far. So, if you're missing one of them, maybe just head back through some of the different worlds and see where you may be missing certain treasure chests from. So, still just going through the menu a little bit more. Here's the materials. Here's a list of every single material, synthesis material that I've collected throughout the playthrough. Go to material log. It shows that as well. We can scroll down a bit more. And yeah, really still shows off roughly the same thing. Then here in lists, this is one of the things that we need to complete. As you show, as I collect certain amounts of different materials, that's what triggers the Moogles giving me something. We're going to be focusing on finishing this list, sort of. In this case, you can see anything that says shards, we want to get 30. Anything that says stones, we want 25. And gems, we want 20. Once we reach that point, then we can just buy any of those materials from the Moogles directly. So if we still need more, it will save us time, we can just buy them. So, time to adjust our equipment and abilities. For Sora, I'm going to put on the Sweet Memories Keyblade. In Kingdom Hearts 2 Original, it actually had the Lucky Lucky ability, but it no longer has it. Now it has the Drive Converter, but that's okay. The Lucky Lucky ability is incredibly important for this, so you want to make sure that every character in your party has it equipped as many times as you can. So this is another one of the benefits to playing on critical mode. In addition to the Lucky Lucky that you gain from leveling up, Sora actually has 2 Lucky Luckies from the very start of the game. So my critical mode journal playthroughs tend to go a little bit quicker when I'm doing the synthesis sections. I'm also going to be making use of limit form quite often because it gives us another Lucky Lucky. And then make sure Donald and Goofy are in your party, and well, they're in your active party. I guess you guys kind of knew what I meant with that. And make sure they also have the Lucky Lucky equipped. So the ability stacks, so the more you have it equipped, the higher your chances of the enemy dropping the particular material. So you want to make sure you have as many of them equipped as you can. So we're going to be backtracking through all the different worlds and collecting the materials that are abundant in that particular world. Starting off in Land of Dragons, first I'm going to change Donald and Goofy's weapons to the Akashic Record and the Shaman's Relic. You get these from the Bookmaster Heartless right outside Merlin's house, and the Shaman enemies in the Pride Lands.
Give me strength!
So in Land of Dragons, we're going to be looking for Frost Shards from Hook Bats, Dark Stones from Nightwalkers, Dark Crystals from Air Pirates, and Lightning Stones from Emerald Blues. The two main areas to focus on are the cave where we got ambushed and the mountain path that we climbed earlier. The lower campgrounds are a good area to focus on Air Pirates if Dark Crystals are all you have left to collect.
It's over!
For Beast's Castle, we're going to be looking for Dark Gems from Gargoyles, Blazing Shards from Hammer Frames, and Blazing Crystals from the Crimson Jazz enemies.
Back off!
Basically, we just want to start in the room where we fought the Thresholder and Possessor, and go along the path to get to Beast's room. You should get a ton of these enemies, and hopefully a ton of these Synth items. In Olympus, we're going to be getting Blazing Shards from Minute Bombs, in case you didn't get them from Beast's Castle, and Blazing Stones from the Tornado Steps. We mostly want to be cycling through this room, the Path to Hades. We get a bunch of Tornado Step enemies on the way, so hopefully you get a good deal of Blazing Stones. In addition, the room where we fought Cerberus is also an area where there's a good chance of getting bulky vendors, so we can get a ton of good rare synthesis items from them.
Okay, let's go!
In Timeless River, we're going to be looking for Power Shards from Large Bodies, Frost Stones from Hot Rods and Aeroplanes, and Dark Shards from Shadows and Soldiers. You probably have a ton of Dark Shards at this point, particularly from our earlier Wisdom Form grinding, but for the other ones, typically just cycle through the different windows and you should have no problem collecting the various synth items. In Agrabah, we're going to be looking for Blazing Gems from Fiery Globes and Bad Bandits, Power Stones from Luna Bandits and Silver Rocks, Frost Gems from Fortune Tellers and Icy Cubes, and we can continue getting Fire Crystals from Crimson Jazz enemies here. Fortunately, a lot of these Heartless are fairly weak, easy to deal with, and they show up in large groups. The main areas that we want to focus on are the main area outside the palace, the entrance to the Cave of Wonders, and the first room inside the Cave of Wonders. In Halloweentown, we're going to be looking for Lucid Shards from Trick Ghosts and Lucid Stones from the Toy Soldiers and the Graveyards. Synth grinding here can be fairly annoying because the drop rate for the various items is pretty low. The main areas that we want to focus on are the area right outside of Santa's house, the forest, and Curly Hill where we fought the Prison Keeper. In the Pride Lands, we're going to be looking for Lightning Shards from Rapid Thrusters, Power Gems from Aerial Knockers and Shamans, and Frost Crystals from Living Bones. Start in the area where we first found Simba, and then just follow the path, defeating all the enemies. For Lightning Shards, we want to re-enter the room where we fought Scar. You may have to do it a few times, but eventually you'll see a ton of Rapid Thrusters like this. They'll drop Lightning Shards like crazy. In Space Paranoids, we really just want to be looking for Lightning Crystals from Devastators. For the various Dense and Twilight materials, we're going to have to defeat all the different types of nobodies in the game. So here I'm going to be going through different parts of both Twilight Town and the world that never was, and just sort of show you where's a good spawn location for pretty much each type of enemy. And just take a quick look at the chart here to see which enemy drops what material. And I forgot to record the footage of this because I'm a moron sometimes, but in Radiant Garden we want to be also getting lightning gems from Arbor Knights and Surveillance Bots, lucid gems from Bookmasters, and power crystals from the Morning Stars. Honestly, just start from the room right outside of Merlin's house and follow the path up to Ansem's lab and you'll get a ton of these enemies, so synth grinding there should be relatively easy. As far as tranquility materials, pick whichever of the Mushroom 13 that you find to be the easiest, and repeat the game a bunch of times, and you'll get a ton of the different materials that you need.
Let's go! Back off!
Finally, we want to return to the Cavern of Remembrance for, you guessed it, the Remembrance material. Finally, in the Cavern of Remembrance, we get a bunch of, you guessed it, Remembrance materials. I typically start in the conveyor belt area, and, you know, just cycle through that room maybe 3 or 4 times, and I get just about everything I need. The main entrance is a good spot to farm stuff to. Okay, so that took me about 3 to 4 hours real time. Let's take a quick look in my journal. So, I've collected all the different types of materials, I've completed the collection lists, and now all I really have to do is start actually synthesizing with the different materials that I collected. So, now I'm going to take the time to go through first free development and recipes, and I'm just going to synthesize everything I can. It should be just about everything. And you notice I have the option to choose bright shards and energy shards. When I use a bright shard while I'm synthesizing, it'll increase the level of the Moogle further, and an energy shard will cut in half the amount of material that I actually need to create that particular item. So bright shards I'm a little less frugal with, and I just tend to use them to level the Moogle up quicker. Energy stones I try to only use when either I have way more than I would normally need, or I obviously absolutely have to use it. So I'm just going to synthesize this stuff, and yeah, you can just see me do it. So now I have the ability to use Serenity material alongside whatever I'm creating. So I'll take a break and look in Creations. This shows everything that I've made. So now I can make that item again. If I use a Serenity shard or appropriate Serenity level material, I can effectively make an enhanced version of that item. So everything that we make from our recipes and our free development, we'll have to make it at least one more time with the appropriate Serenity material to make the enhanced version of it. And that's how we're gonna complete the journal section of synthesis. So here I'm at the part where most people doing synthesis care about, making Ultima Weapon. The main thing there is the Orichalcum Plus. We need 13, but there's only 7 in the game. So here's one where we absolutely have to use an energy crystal, where we'll make the requirement for everything cut in half. So we'll do that, synthesize. There, I have Sora's best weapon in the game, technically. It comes with the MP Hastiga ability, so Sora's MP recovers very quickly with it. Alright, so I hope I've been clear with how synthesis and the synth grinding really works. Hope you guys saw some, if not necessarily the best area to grind for particular items, at least fairly good spots where you'll get a ton of them pretty, or relatively easily. If you have any questions on a particular material, You know, just let me know in the comments. If there's anything I missed, also please let me know there. You know, with my style of play of defeating every enemy every time I enter the room, I usually have a much easier time with item synthesis than I did when I was younger playing through this game, or previous Kingdom Hearts games. So, if you weren't necessarily doing that, then this is going to take you a little bit longer. Also, I know it's been a fairly long time since I uploaded a video. Yeah, life has just been a little bit weird, but we're almost at the end of the game, so just really do want to make sure I finish up this walkthrough before the end of the year, which I think I'm on track to do. Anyway, keep checking in here. The benefit of collecting the required amount of each item is if you're short on anything, now you can sort of buy a lot of those synthesis material from the Moogles directly, so you don't have to go out and farm for them more. Now, I've almost synthesized everything. There are a few things I still can't synthesize just yet, but see, free development and recipes are clear. And if you take a look at the things that I haven't made yet, there's a Lost Illusion that I need. Those we're going to be taken care of in a later video, so for now we're effectively, we've pretty much synthesized everything that we need. I think I just synthesized that again for no reason, but it's fine. Yeah. Alright, so synthesis we're kind of done with for the time being. Now let's just take a look, and there's Ultima Weapon, it just looks so cool. And take a look at some of the weapons that we just got Donald. There's the Save the Queen Plus, and Centurion. Looks a bit like Lexaeus' weapon, don't you think? And check for Goofy. There we got Save the King and Save the King Plus, and Frozen Pride. Looks a bit like Vexen's weapon. Anyway, we got a lot of good stuff. So time for another quick journal check, and let's see where we are in synthesis notes now. 56 out of 59, so we just have 3 more items to synthesize. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel, leave a comment, share the video with a friend, all the good stuff. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.